Welcome to Effective Evolution, and today we're exploring Panorama, which is Solstice 3662. And when you go over this particular scenario, you'll find that there are some very interesting sections. For example, there's a section that has a type of figurine. I would venture to say some type of alien figure, which would explain the symmetry of this object. Also, some other intricate designs and patterns that have very interesting creations and architecture to them, as well as other areas of the slope on the left side and also the slope in the background. And there are also some designs that look like roots or whatnot. It could be part of a larger type of building, possibly a craft, and other interesting patterns or whatnot. And let's get right to it and enjoy yourself with this episode of Effective Evolution. Of evolution. And today we're looking at Solstice 3662. This particular scenario here. And there are some very interesting objects on this side of this hill slope or whatnot. Also in the background with regards to these linear patterns, types of structures or whatnot. And we'll explore that a bit further. And in the previous panorama, we were looking at the area of Solstice 3662 with the burn instrument to bring out some particular areas of shading or whatnot. And now we're adding the contrast brightness to it. So we get this type of panorama. And as you can see, there are some interesting designs and creations on the slope in the background and also the slope on the left side. And we'll try to zoom in a bit more on these with the dodge tool to bring out some of the light areas on Solstice 3662. We get this type of panorama, and notice the interesting shapes here, here, and here as well. And notice the symmetry in the background here, in addition, as well as these very designed patterns in the background here. Maybe 15 kilometers away or so. And this slope should be about maybe 100 meters to 2 kilometers away or so, and to here it might be 7 kilometers or so, 7 to 11 kilometers or so away. This with the scaling that's provided with this particular panorama. And then with the aid of some highlighting, you can determine that there are some very noteworthy designs to be focused on with the aid of this highlighting. These are just a few, of course, as well as the pattern on the, quote, relatively more flat topography. And this is with the contrast brightness tool as well. And next, with the infrared tool, in addition to the burn tool, we get this type of scenario. You can see the contours here. Are they roots? What are they exactly? And there's that object on the top. Intricate, quote, support beams or whatnot in the background here. Intricate designs in here, as noted. Interesting grooves along here. Is this some type of road? Just notice the double line symmetry going all the way across here. Much like construction and the building of roads or whatnot. Straight along here, horizontally as well. And these intricate patterns come out a bit more with the infrared tool as well. And next, we're using the contrast brightness tool and the exposure tool as well, in addition to the highlighting and whatnot. Please note the remarkable,
the particular scenarios, and this would be the one with the figure. As you can see, it's a figure there, eyes, type of ear, point and zooming in on that shoulder object. You can notice the incredible symmetry. Perfect triangle, and the other objects as well as the circular object here. An object in the background, like looking object, is this part of a larger structure. And with the infrared tool, we get this. You can see some more detail. Seems to be some openings in the circular object. This background object is more cylindrical, seems to have edges around it as well. A bit more contours displayed here with the infrared object's instrument. And the other object is this triangular object, the shadow all around it as well. You can see the symmetry all around it. It has some depth as well. Other objects in the background. Is this part of some type of craft or building? Maybe 100 centimeters in depth or more. And from edge to edge, probably 50 centimeters to 100 centimeters or so or more. And with the infrared tool, at this, see some more shadows. Interesting shape here. A bit more detail, a bit more shadows, a bit more contours.
Symmetry and design patterns all over the place. And next, using a bit of tinting along with the contrast brightness tool and whatnot, we get this type of scenario. Hopefully you can determine some more united types of patterns here. Is this whole hill slopeside part of something larger? And the background is there as well, the design and the back throw. And moving into some other areas here, in particular this scenario, you can see that with the trim tool, the burn tool, which can actually bring out some shadows and hence some patterns and designs, you can see there does appear to be some type of structures on the top here. This does seem to be a type of craft or a building right on the top of this ridge. And of course, these areas here do have some very interesting designs and patterns, architecture. Seems to be a concave, curved area here. Some type of opening here. Designs, patterns, buildings possibly on that side. These could possibly be roads of some sort. Notice the rectangular symmetry here. Is this some large type of craft or some type of building or whatnot? You see that patterns just kind of come out more. Notice these structures here as well. There is definitely some architectural creativity here. Notice these patterns. This route seems to go all the way to just a little bit over the midsection, the top as well. Is there some type of terrace involved here as well for possibly farming or urban production, maybe mining of some sort? You're welcome to come up with your own prognosis, of course, as usual. And next, we're going to focus in on some other areas. And this would be when we started to trim
and bring out the shadows or whatnot with the trim instrument, burn instrument, and with the help of some highlighting, we get this type of design. You can notice the intricate roots or whatnot and shaped grooves into the hill slope or whatnot. These look like a whole bunch of buildings with architectural designs and symmetry. Some well-designed rectangular formations here. This whole slope is very peculiar. You can notice some intricate designs in here as well, and the hill at the back. Very rectangular structures here. A fin-shaped type of structure that would have an effect on the wind around the area as well. This does seem to be some type of craft or something. Or some type of building conveniently located on the top of this ridge. They are there, of course. Is this some otherworldly type of design? Is it a settlement area? Is it connected to an underground type of system or whatnot? That is under the landform on this slope? Very interesting designs. These could be some type of support for whatever type of building design is attached to it or whatnot. Very interesting structures here. Just look at the symmetry here. Going down this slope, the symmetry is uncanny. Very well thought plans of architecture and design. And with the infrared instrument, and with the help of some highlighting, you can see there are some very interesting architectural designs here on the landscape. Would these be buildings? Or are they types of monuments, statues, or whatnot? There does seem to be a route here, which is well designed. Could be some type of road. There seems to be some type of building on the top here, or is it a craft? Notice the structures in the background here as well. Is this entire composite area a large type of building edifice, or is it a type of craft that has been submerged in layers of material over the years? Seems to be some structures here. A half oval type of opening here. Very interesting designs. More focus on the slope in the background, the hilly area. Just going up a bit further, you can notice there are some structures in the background here. It was brought out with the highlighting, and to bring some attention to this object here as well. These linearly patterns and shapes that have a groove into the landform.
groove in the middle of this hilly area. Zooming in even further, you can see there is an oval pattern here. Contours on the side, a curved contour here. And if we go in a bit more, you can see that there is a structure there. Very planned, very designed, and notice the intricate symmetrical objects and structures around it as well. Is that a somewhat alien urban architectural design? Its brightness and infrared, we get this type of view. There is somewhat more detail. The curved structure is still there. You can even see some designs right underneath there in the shadowy area. Curves here, intricate symmetry, this area here. And there is definitely a pattern there. This is with the contrast brightness and the infrared modes as well. Give some highlighting, we get this type of design. You can see there are planned designs all around the top, inside the layered curved parts. Some designs here as well. Very orderly, very designed, very organized. Every indication of an otherworldly type of technology. And this would be another area just further along that section of the hilly area. It does have a perfect circular opening here. Part of this symmetrical establishment around it as well. Just notice the intricate linear patterns here. Is this not planned architecture of the otherworldly kind? The background object on the ridge, we get this type of design. And you could probably determine there is some type of object here on the ridge. Now, is this some type of craft? That is a spacecraft or a building per se? Notice this rectangular formation here. And if we can just move in a bit more, you can see that there is an object here, or some type of building. Just notice the symmetrical designs, the linear patterns. And further, we get this type of design. You can see that those patterns are still there, maybe a bit more detail.
It might be 5 to 7 kilometers away, or more, of course. There is definitely a pattern there on the landscape. Instrument, we get this. Perhaps we could make out some further detail. Somewhat. There does seem to be a bit more detail. Some more contours being added. You can see the structures here. Symmetrical, rectangular. Are these some types of windows or compartments for steering a craft? Is this some type of landing leg? Landing leg here as well. Is this the back of the craft or the building? Notice the trapezoid design here. It's quite planned architecture, you must admit.
And in summary, then, after going over this panorama with Area 3662, you can definitely notice various interesting designs and patterns, whether it was the figure that would indicate an otherworldly presence, if it is in fact a life form, and also the other intricate designs and architecture and shapes or whatnot that has some implications as well. It would indicate an advanced level of architecture and technology, of course, otherworldly. And in the background, on the background slope as well, there are some interesting designs and patterns that could indicate a larger type of building structure, entrances and exits or whatnot, and implications for types of life forms that might inhabit this area. If it is in fact a type of craft, that would be interesting too. And until next time, keep on with your exploration on behalf of effective evolution. Thank you for your time.